302S, everybody. I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and tonight we're diving back into the news. Although, maybe diving's not really the right word to use, since a lot of this stuff is pretty mundane. The finest example of tonight's mundanity? Well, that would be this new pair of premium real grades that we'll be seeing this August. They're called the Zeta Gundam and the Gundam Mark II RG limited color versions, and, well, they're creative. The Mark II is wearing the colors of his RX-78-2 ancestor, and it seems like their intent is to kind of create like a sort of what-if scenario where Amuro piloted the Mark II in Camille's place. Now, the kit does wear these colors quite well, it's just kind of an odd thing to see. Just as odd, or perhaps even odder, is the Zeta Gundam. This one dons a much more original color palette, and like with the Mark II, it wears it rather well. Now obviously it's straying pretty heavily from the color layout of the original Zeta, so naturally a lot of these vibrant blue splashes of colors are going to be provided by stickers. These look to be the same kind of stickers they used for the extra color separation on Kirkland's Zeta 2, and if you want to know how I feel about those, you can go ahead and rewatch my build log and review of that model. Spoiler alert, they're kinda shit. But I can't really fault Bandai for using them, it's not like there was really any other way to get the look they were going for. But there's still the issue of what this thing's even supposed to be, because the markings seem to imply that this is another kind of what-if Amuro suit like the Mark II, but we already have one of those. Hell, we even got a real grade of it. So what exactly is this supposed to accomplish? I don't know, but that's honestly fine with me. The Mark II and Zeta RG limited color versions are really the best kind of premium Bandai model. They're nice, but completely unnecessary. They're the kind of thing that makes you go, huh, that's neat, without making you feel compelled to scramble to your online reseller of choice before they're all gone. These are the kind of kits that Bandai needs to make more of. But no, these are not the heralds of a change in the direction of the premium web shop, they're just the wingmen for August's main event, a new Pale Rider. Now, the Pale Rider is quite possibly as far as you can get from the perfect P-Bandai models that I described a moment ago. It's the main machine of its source material, it's as cool as all get out, and most bafflingly, its source mold has never ever gotten a mass retail release. Now, I personally love this design to death, but unfortunately the kit doesn't quite deliver. It's got large quantities of color separation that are being approximated with stickers, and the seam lines are pretty bad as well. Regardless, we are getting another one. So the Pale Rider Space Equipment type is a surprisingly affordable 2,000 yen before many layers of middleman fees, and it will definitely be one of the highlights of August, at least for me. It's drawing really clear inspiration from the Gundam G05, most notably sporting the O5's personal Gatling gun, but it's also taking cues from many other elements of that design. However, it looks like the stickers are back with a vengeance, as the face of the shield is pretty clearly just one big ol' gray foil sticker. It sucks, but that's what happens when you're working with a web-exclusive budget. Personally, I think that a Master Grade Pale Rider would not only be the coolest thing ever, but would also be a pretty easy thing for Bandai to pull off now that they got a Master Grade Gym Sniper 2 to work off of. But with how obscure Missing Link is, that's not gonna happen. Ever. So along with those three, we're also going to be getting a bunch of P-Bandai re-releases in August. Some cool stuff like the Destiny Impulse, both Ghost Gigans, Kirkland Zeta 2, the Byarlant Custom Unit 2, and the previously released Pale Rider ground equipment type. Then in September, the White Dingo team is getting replenished with new production runs of not only their iconic Gym Sniper 2, but also the GM and Gun Cannon mass production type set. These are all some pretty great models, so if you're interested in any of these, be sure to grab them while they're back in production. And hey, look at that, we got something interesting to look at finally. Twilight Axis is getting its third kit in the form of the Byarlant Isolde. So what's nice about this is the fact that the Byarlant is actually less than a decade old, unlike the last two Twilight Axis kits we've gotten. I mean, sure, it's not amazing by today's standards, but compared to the Zaku 3 and the Alex, it's a freaking masterpiece. The head and arms have been completely changed, and it looks like they're trying to point out something new in the back in some of these images, but it doesn't look like there's anything different there to me, so... Anyways, this is another August release, and yep, it's premium Bandai. Of course. Although I can't really get too mad at them for doing that, since releasing 3 retail kits for a series of web shorts that combined barely break the 20-minute mark would kinda be wasteful. And with that final bit of actually interesting news, this very premium episode of Gunpla News comes to an end. Thanks for watching, leave a like if you want, and subscribe if you want to see more. And as always, I'm your host Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.